You around.
You know, you just do it.
Talk to me.
And I'm in awe of voiceover actors. They're so talented.
Watch, get her back.
It seems to me that, you know, it's unfair that they call them voiceover actors. They don't deserve. First and foremost, they are incredibly good actors, as good as anyone I've worked with on stage, television, screen, and they're so versatile. I mean, they come out of improv, out of stand-up comedy, and out of, you know, just acting. I thought it was funny because when you first you're not really, once they realize that actors, you know, you're not like most famous. So they have their revenge in a way. You know, because with your puppetry,
I need a talk.
you're not a legitimate actor when someone that sees it from my end.
I do not have a target.
Not only are you a great actor, every actor I really want to learn what they expensive. I'd make them so when they this is revolutionary. I need a impressive. I was so mad for the Muppets that I remember if you were on, well, it wasn't a problem if you were on Mike Douglas, Hollywood Palace was on Saturday, so that was one. But Ed Sullivan was a game night, and if the Muppets were on, I get to stay up that extra half hour because it's the Muppets.
I need to target
who
something
else?
first.
Well, the Beatles and all those kind of people, but. Being one of 7 children, my father was in radio, so he was a very Christian veterinarian. And I always thought, why is bedtime so important? And I thought,
I need a
have
target.
3 children.
I need to target. I do not have a target.
Get them off to bed as soon as possible.
Voices. What is something about being a voice artist that most people don't know?
Well, a lot of people say,
My
hey,
liege,
listen, this is pretty good.
I have done as you asked.
do hope
and
you
now
did.
beseech
And you go,
you for your
yeah, that's good.
blessing.
And I have people come up to me that do spot on.
Sacrifice
I'm really
is a
surprised.
testament
But
to your
they tend to think they don't, people don't come up to me and say, oh, I can be on Broadway, or I can be more accessible. Since they do a good impression, they say, so how could I get it? And I need to sell people like, oh,
Beyond my imagining, I am yours.
talking about show business. Seriously, I say to people,
I will be happy to slaughter them in your name.
do that.
Come, enemies of the scourge.
Because you are in
I
for
will
a
show you
lifetime
the
of
might
rejection
of the
and
Lich
heartbreak
King.
and unemployment. I mean,
I will thank
the thing is, when I tell people this, if they don't realize they're talking more like fall back. I didn't listen to music. I sometimes think college, Kathy Lightstone, she was like Meryl Streep. She could do everything. Comedy, drama, Ibsen, Shakespeare. She was just an incredible actress. But she didn't have the chemistry. She tried it for 2 or 3 years. She got an agent. And I'm telling you, it's like when you play roulette. You have to spin the wheel 1,000 times. said, definitely, don't all go to Hollywood. It's still degenerate.
Don't have a target.
But it just, it didn't occur to me to do anything else. I've said before, I mean, I got the bug really early because I saw Clarence Nash on a Disney TV show doing Donald Duck. I must have been 4 or 5. And the light bulb went off on my head. I was already mad the comic strips. I loved the ones I couldn't read, the ones that
I need to target something. I need a target. I do not have a target.
But anyway, I'm watching, and all of a sudden I see this man in a suit in front of a microphone doing Donald Duck. And this light bulb went on. Somebody gets up in the morning, has breakfast, kisses his wife goodbye, drives in the car, and does Donald Duck. and gets paid for it. I want that job. I did a terrible Donald Duck, but then I really started keying in on the voices and no, I aspired to do animation. The other pivotal moment was when I saw King Kong, and it was on $1 million movie when we were living in New York. Every day, 5 days in a row at 4 o'clock. And I saw it Monday at 4 o'clock. I was traumatized. I mean, it was so tragic to me what happened to that poor baby. And I watched the
I need a target. I do not have a target.
And he wouldn't get away from them and everything, And my mom, and again, I was just beside myself. It was so tragic to me. And of course, I love the dinosaurs. My mom, I brought my buddies over. Because
target.
Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday. I mean, to me, I don't know. Maybe for women, it's Gone with the Wind. For young boys, it's King Kong. It's a heartbreaker. And I thought, I don't know how they made these dinosaurs come to life.
I do not have a target.
And that's their job. To dinosaurs come to life. I don't know how they did it, but I thought, and then Disney was largely pull back the curtain and show you the making of Darby O'Gill and the little people.
I need to target something
Carpenters
first.
who build sets. There's, there's painters and there's the camera crew. I'm not a bad cook. Maybe I can cater films.
I need a
I didn't
target.
have to be in the show, prepare the show. And why give my brother and sisters because they say, here comes Mr. Movie Star. I didn't want to do that. But in the back of my mind, I said, that's what I have to do. And I didn't necessarily think it would be performing, because when I auditioned for a play in school, it would be great if I got it. But if I didn't get it, I would work on props or backstage. I made posters. I mean, to me, at the point by the time I was going to rehearsal, and in your own little happy bubble. That's what I did. So, and the first time my father, we were living in, my dad, Frank said, was in the Navy, and we moved all the time. So I was perpetually the new kid. Maybe that sort of helped me develop this community-like ability to
Look
fit
alive,
in,
my brothers!
whatever, 'cause
A feast
what's cool in
for the
San
one that
Diego
brings me their
is
heads!
really strange in Pennsylvania or New York to San Jose. So I was wanting to always fit in. And then we were living on the East Coast, and my father brought me to New York on a business trip. And he would go to work, and he took me as a single, and I saw Odd Couple, and I saw all these plays. To me,
I do not have a target.
real people on the stage.
I need a target.
But they were fantasy in a way. Here, these were real people. I remember I'd go by the stage door. I wouldn't approach them and ask them about them, but I wanted to see them.
Target. I do not have a target.
This is a target.
I need a target.
And these people laughed so hard, myself included. I didn't think I liked musicals because I would see them on TV. I love them. So it was just not.
I need to target
for me.
something.
You know, I thought, I don't like music. But I'd seen all these straight films like Nashville on Broadway, Marat Sag. The actors were so good. I thought they were really insane. I didn't know what it was. It said the Royal Shakespeare Company was something I knew that I should see. That time. Then there was a time where I run out of straight plays. Sweet Charity, and I misread the description. I thought it said the misadventures of a female taxi driver. It said taxi dancer. It wouldn't matter, you know, at 14 I didn't know what a taxi dancer was, but I thought it's a musical, so I won't like the singing. When I sing the opera, I said I should do stuff. It sounded like a goofy concept, you know, taxi driver.
I do not have a target.
In the film is a recreation of Foxy's Big Boat production. Everything's stunner. I was up in the balcony, and I never seen anything like it. And, you know, I thought my parents didn't want me to see anything we did. And I had no idea what it was about. And I was working without myself, but it was I've never seen people move that way. Open up a whole new world to me where I saw it.
You call that
it wasn't
an attack?
This told a story, you know, steeped in Jewish history. I mean, cabaret. Again, 1931 Nazi Germany, such ambitious themes. I thought I was really holding myself back, you know, and since I've become a fan of Damn Yankees and How to Succeed in Business, and you know, theater, like I say, it was a major catalyst in me realizing that at the very worst, even though I didn't know anybody in Hollywood, and I read books. If I get obsessed with like the Marx Brothers, and then I'd read every book I could about the Marx Brothers. So I
I need a target. I need to target something first.
And I'll do theater and make my way that way.
You know, this is a great place to change because, again, this is the last little section. A couple of questions in about Star Wars.
Any question you want, but I don't want to.
Well, what I want to do is you guys ask questions about Star Wars. So, you were in about a half a dozen Broadway plays, and people don't know that.
Not only did they not know, but people in Hollywood know. I mean, a lot of times you have to understand the good speed, you know, the tryout production and so forth. It took 20 months of my life. Now, I go back to Los Angeles, and most people said, "Oh, are you still in the business?" Like I'd retired or something. Cheetah Rivera knew, but she knows all about theater, so I was so thrilled that she knew. She said, "Honey, I've been in a lot of theaters." So really, any people in the tri-state area will actually know who's on Broadway. Hollywood doesn't care what Broadway is. Hollywood doesn't care what Hollywood is. I'd seen the production with Tim Curry as Mozart and Ian McKellen as Salieri. And what struck me, because I thought, okay, it's going to be a history lesson about, a biography of Mozart. And I was
See you
just
later.
struck at how I related to Mozart so much, because here he wrote this celestial, heavenly music, and he was kind of coarse. And he was like a rock star. He just was so impudent and saucy, and it really appealed to me. I adored him, and I've worked with him many times in voiceover, and he's a great guy. And someone said, they're going to replace them. You really should try out. Sir Peter Hall had never seen Star Wars, so that gave me confidence, because a lot of times, no, seriously, it's like I wanted to go out for Midnight Express that Brad Davis did, and they said, no, we don't need to see Mark. We've seen Star Wars. I said, well, if you've only seen that, how can you? I got to get in the room so that I can walk and talk and tie my shoelaces and chew bubblegum at the same time. I thought it was unfair that you'd be dismissed because we've seen Star Wars. We know it's not right for that. In New York, they have open auditions. Even if you don't have an agent, you can sign up and wait for 6 hours from 8 a.m. and they see you at 5:30, but you're seen. So, and I had a lot of experience on the stage, both in school and then 4 semesters at City College in Los Angeles. So, the fact that I could do dialects, that I had, movement and presence, he was really surprised. And I wound up doing the national tour with John Wood, and then they put me in the Broadway production, which is a very unusual experience, because when you're doing it for 7 months with the same cast, then they take you and put you in
I need to target something.
And your first scene with Constanza is running around and jumping on top of her and playing meow and playing cats, and you're mauling her. It's like you meet the actress. How do you do? Now let me maul you. Only in this business would something like that happen.
Were you when you did any stage, especially your Broadway stuff, were you confident or were you nervous?
I always have a certain amount of performance anxiety. I mean, I'm not really relaxed. I do deep breathing exercises. And what happens is the minute you get out, like today, I was like, I overthink things. So I'm sitting there thinking, what am I going to talk about at the 90-second wire? Because science is, my brother's the doctor, and he still considers the science beats the arts, Dr. Hamill. But I overthink these things, because I thought, well, I don't want to say the same old stories everybody's sick of, that my kids now can mouth as I tell them. But then once I get out here and you feel the warmth of the audience, I love it. It's like when I did the Broadway musical, I can tell you, but I don't have time. I'll never do this.
I do not have a target. I need to target something.
So, I can sing Happy Birthday. I can't sing the Star Spangled Banner. The range is too broad. So I auditioned, and
I need a target. I am out of range.
Have rhythm in my body. And then they said, okay, we want you to do that. Dance class. So I went to dance class. I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday. For about 6 weeks before the first rehearsal. And then we're up in Connecticut. And it was coffee and tea left.
I do not have a target.
And on the first day of rehearsal, I'm not going to tell them, they've taught me all this. I'm just going to really wow them, because the people in the show, that's all they've done. We're musicals, So what took me 6 weeks to learn, but again, they wonder, are you a team player? Are you going to be a diva? Are you going to have, your own chef? That's what I don't understand. I want to know everybody on the team.
I need a hug.
I know their job. And, I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm such a nice person. It's just that they're part of the family. It's a composite art. It's not just one person that's doing this. And that's why I love that documentary that documentary.
I do not have a target. I need to target.
Extraordinary to see the talent involved and they become your surrogate family. You're on set from 8 more than you see your own family at home. And I have to know they're on my side. But if you show them you're on their side,
I'm so impressed by your answers.
Ronald of the Screaming Abyss!
I am.
Snuff these maggots with darkest
I want to just ask you, I said, have you seen Muppet Guys Talking? Have you seen this documentary?
Your strength.
My own complaint is too short. I wanted another 90 minutes of it. And I thought I could better tonight. Asking.
No. Okay, this is your night. Okay, one last question, the next is stuff in Star Wars. Yes.
No. Next time we should reverse. I'll be the moderator, Frank will be the subject.
So let me ask you something. The Broadway stuff. How many Star Wars had you made before that?
Let's see, the first thing I did was in 1979 was Elephant Man. So I think I'd finished Empire, but we hadn't done Jedi yet.
You know what that means? This guy